Good morning, traders. Good morning. This is the Manny Magoo on Wednesday, a chilly morning here at 8:02 a.m. on December the 9th. I just wanted to go over some of the stocks that we did take trades on yesterday. We had an absolutely phenomenal day. It was an amazing run yesterday on some of the stocks that we're in. I want to go over some of the ones that we're still in that we did take on yesterday, and some of the ones that just didn't work. When something doesn't break an area of support and resistance, and my lines, I sit on my hands, I'm patient, and I just wait. Again, folks, this is for entertainment purposes only. I've been trading for over 20 years. However, it's always best to contact a financial advisor. If you have a financial advisor that understands some of the things that I do when it comes to technical analysis, I try to keep it simple. But again, this is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm hoping that these videos do help. If you have any questions, if you want to comment, please feel free to comment below any of these videos. Hit that subscribe button, and also you can email me, hunterchasetrading@gmail.com. Feel free to ask me any questions, and I'd be more than happy to give you my professional advice on it. But diving right into this, I'm going to take you through our first trade, which was DraftKings. Let me go through a weekly chart, okay? I'm going to show you a couple things here, folks. I'm a price action trader, so I pay close attention to the weekly and monthly candles, highs and lows. I think those are major areas of support and resistance. And as you can see, if you've taken a look at my past videos, you will see that time and time again, these trades really, really work. Okay, so this candle here is 11:30 candle. This is last week's high and last week's low. The low was $48.42. The high is $53.72. And as you can see, I have my yellow line there, which was, by the way, also last month's high. Okay, so 53.72 is a major area. Not only is it a weekly high, it's also a monthly high. Okay, so in order for DraftKings to break this area, it really has to gain some momentum here. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily chart, and I'll explain this blue line to you in a second. But this, I'm going to show you what happened here. So this right here, okay, is Monday's candle. And what happened on Monday? Well, on Monday, DraftKings broke last week's low, $48.42, which was its support. Now, once it breaks a support, the support automatically becomes resistance. And just because it breaks an area of support doesn't mean that it's not going to continue going down. We don't know where it's going to go to. But what we try to do is we try to identify areas of support in order to possibly get into the trade. Okay, so what I started doing is I started looking to the left, because the past always is going to dictate your future when it comes to stocks, okay? And I started looking at the past to see possible areas of support. The first area of support that I saw was on 11.25, okay? There's $47.77, which is this candle's low, and as you can see, DraftKings actually did on Monday. It broke this candle's low, but then it reclaimed it a bit. Okay, so looked like it, wanting to go back inside this candle's low, which once it breaks it, it became a resistance area. Okay. But that's basically, on Tuesday, what I was looking for was DraftKings to go back inside and then break the resistance of last week's low of 48.42. Okay, and that's exactly what it did yesterday. But if I do have another room, it's a private room of traders. It is a subscription-based service, but at the same time, If those of you that took this trade with me got in even before the fact, and I'm going to show you where we entered the position and felt comfortable entering a position on this trade. If you take a look, so you take a look at this candle here, the support is 46.61. And we also have some support at 46.90, which was the 11.23 candle, and we have support at 46.63, which is the 11.18 candle. Okay, so I knew that there was a tremendous amount of support in this area. So what did I do? I had this blue line drawn there. Now yesterday, let's go to a shorter term time frame. In the morning, what happened? Well, as you can see here, DraftKings also broke that line. Okay, it tried to reclaim it, but then broke it again. Usually on the first try, when it breaks an area of resistance, it usually always pulls back. And usually what I like to do is I like to take the trade on the second break of resistance. And mind you, folks, this is the beautiful part about the way I trade. Okay? It's very, very conservative. And if you're disciplined enough, there's no way you cannot make money trading this way. Okay? It's really up to you. So let's just say, for example, you get in on the break of 46.63, which was an area of resistance. Well, if it breaks 46.63, you know that 46.63 now becomes support. If you want to, folks, you can get out. You can always get back in the trade. And it doesn't cost you much to find out. Remember, folks, trading is a game of probability. Okay? It doesn't have to happen. However, if it doesn't do what you want it to do, you have to be disciplined in order to get out. And if you discipline yourself to do that and not hope that it's not going to break down further, well, guess what? You can make this a living, okay? You can trade for a living because I'm no genius. I can promise you that, okay? I just discipline myself that I'm able to pull the trigger when to get in, and I'm able to pull the trigger to get out if it doesn't work and go my way, okay? So, DraftKings here, what did it do? It tried to reclaim. It broke it, but barely. It really didn't do much at all, okay? Came back down. We still weren't in this trade, okay? Now, DraftKings then broke it here. Mind you, folks, I took the trade here. I took the trade on the third break, but I made a little bit of a mistake. And the reason being is because if you take a look at this, what was DraftKings doing when it was trying to break this line? Well, it put in a lower high, as you can see here. You see here? It went up at 9:47 a.m. It got to 46.80. And then what did it do here? It put in a lower high at 46.67. Okay? So what I should have waited for was I should have waited for it to put in a higher low like it did here. Okay, as you can see, DraftKings went up, and right away I anticipated, well, you know what, this is the third time, let me give it a shot. And I did. I took this trade, and guess what, I got stopped out right away. As a matter of fact, I got stopped out. I put my my stop at 46.55, which was this candle's low, and I got stopped out immediately. Okay, but then I noticed one thing. This is when we took the trade and really made a substantial amount of money, okay? If you take a look, okay, DraftKings pulled back, but what did it do? It found support right here in this area, but it put in a higher low. So again, I'm watching the trade, and what did it do here? It broke it, it went sideways, and I was comfortable taking the trade. Once it broke this candle's high of 46.92. I actually put in my order at 46.95, and it was all she wrote from there. I put in an order in at 46.95. I held the position all the way. Now, DraftKings already had one heck of a run. I never anticipated what it was going to do, but let's take a look, okay? So here you have it, and so I knew this area here, 48.82, was last week's low. And I kept tweeting it on Twitter. For those who followed me, I basically said, if DraftKings breaks 48.82, the Magoo is going long, okay? So I was already in a position here, but once it broke 48.42 and got back inside last week's low, I added to my position, okay? And basically, folks, I mean, DraftKings ran all the way up to almost as high as $51 a share, 50.90, 50.95 area. Right now, I did sell some of my DraftKings because I always like putting money in my pocket. So I'm still holding on to about 50% of the position. But at the same time, DraftKings right now in pre-market is at approximately $50.61. I'm going to hold the 50% of my position. And I have a stop right now because I don't want to lose everything, but I do have a stop on DraftKings. I'm going as low as 48.79 is my stop. I'm giving it room. I'm hoping that it doesn't come down there, and I'm hoping it continues to march upward. I see DraftKings as having a tremendous amount of strength. It broke back inside, and if you take a look at a daily chart on DraftKings, take a look at this candle, folks. Okay, this is an outside candle. It was weak enough to break the previous day's low, but it was strong enough to get back inside the previous day's low, and on top of that, break the previous day's high. As a matter of fact, it almost broke the 12.4 high of $50.95. It got to $50.91 before it pulled back a little bit. Okay, so we are going to have some resistance here at $50.95. We are going to have some resistance at $51.08. So I'm looking at these areas. I might pull the trigger and get out a little bit more. Might sell another 25% of my position. But as of right now, DraftKings was a tremendous trade. It worked really, really well. And congratulations to those who took it with me. I hope you're happy with that trade. Another trade we took was XOM, okay? ExxonMobil. It was on Sunday's watch list. Let me take a look at the weekly. As you can see here, so this was last week's high. The high was 41.76. And I mentioned, folks, that you have to be careful if you play that 41.76 break, because if you take a look, you'll identify a yellow line here. That was last month's high of 42.08. So there's not much of a difference from the high of 41.76 to the high of 42.08. So obviously these are going to be major areas of resistance. Okay, but again, if it breaks that weekly high, which it did, I'm going to take the trade. And as you can see here, again, let me show you. So on the first break, it touched it, pulled back. We weren't in yet. On the second break at 9:50 a.m., I did take the trade at 9:50 a.m. It triggered me in, and guess what? It stopped me out right away. I didn't lose any money on this trade, folks. Okay? Reason being, I got in at $41.76, and I put my stop actually at $41.75. So, I'm sorry, I lied. I lost a penny. Okay? And I waited. I waited to see if it would work again. And guess what? It did. I took the trade again at 41.76. It broke 41.76 area. It got to the high of the month, 42.08. And what did it do here? Guess what? It consolidated, you see? And it marched up forward. Now, if I were to take this trade at 41.76, what I would do is I would put a stop at 42.08. At least you could put some money in your pocket if it does break that area. But again, the beautiful part about the way I trade is I have these areas identified already. So I have a plan. If you do not have a plan when you trade, you won't be successful. That's just the bottom line, okay? So you have to have a plan. You have to know what you're doing when you get in, and you have to know when to get out. I'm still holding some of XOM. I did take some profit on it. But at the same time, I'm still holding some, and hopefully XOM continues to work. The other trades, Overstock. Let me show you Overstock. Okay, let's take a look at a weekly on Overstock. As you can see here again, another area that I wanted to show you. I love playing these back inside weekly breaks, okay? If you take a look at last week's low, 59.56, okay? So, let's take a look. Let's go to a smaller turn time frame. As you can see, yesterday, what did Overstock do? It broke the 59.56, which was last week's low. So what happens now? 59.56 becomes support. Okay? Excuse me. It becomes resistance. Okay? So, again, if you took the trade, I didn't take it at 9:50 a.m. I was looking at too many other things. But if you took it at 9:50, it ran up to as high as $60.56, which is a dollar actually, before it did pull back. And what did it do? Look again. What did it do? It broke last week's low, but it immediately got bought up. That shows a lot of strength, folks, because now this becomes a very nice area of support. And as a matter of fact, if it did stop you out and you didn't take any profits on that first run, you could have got right back in, okay? And then it went all the way up to $61.86. So for those of you who did take that trade, congratulations. For those of you who are still in it, right now, Overstock is at $60.25. So it is up from yesterday's close. And the other trades we're still waiting for. Big did not work. eBay, still waiting on eBay. Look at eBay. Look what happened. Look at that. That's last week's low. Found support, 49.36. It broke it. Matter of fact, if you've been paying attention, you could have taken this trade yesterday. That's another trade that would have worked. Went back inside last week's low of $49.36. So, folks, please pay attention to this. It's very, very important. We're waiting on Microsoft still. Neo's pretty much sideways right now, trading in a range. And that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Be careful today playing. I hope everybody does very, very well. If you have any concerns, please just comment below. Please hit that subscribe button. And if you hit the bell button on the subscribe button, I noticed that people are telling me that it is notifying them when I put in a video. So hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Trade safe and have a great day, folks.